So again, leading term is negative 3x. Leading coefficient is negative 3. Leading term, negative 3x. And the power of x is 1. If there is no x, the power is 0. But there is an x, so that's power 1. Good, so let me dictate this just in case it's not clear. 2 braces, and then brackets and parentheses. So parentheses are the smaller ones, the next priority brackets, and the last priority braces. So 2 left braces, 2 minus 3, bracket 3x minus 2, parentheses x plus 2, close, of course, plus 4x, and close the bracket and the braces. Good. Where is the first priority for us here? The absolute first step.
Negative 2 times the
parentheses. Thank you very much. Is that Oliver? Thank you. This is indeed our first priority. We cannot change, alter, touch anything else. I am going to copy everything else as is. So I copy the 2 braces, 2 minus 3 bracket 3x, and stop. I have to distribute negative 2 to these two terms. What do I get when I do that?
Negative 2x minus 4.
Negative 2x minus 4 plus 4x bracket rent. Good. At this point, I must combine like terms in here. I cannot do anything. This is my second step. I must combine like terms and present inside brackets the combined like terms expression in descending order of the powers of the variable. So, I'm sorry.
5x minus 4.
We'll see in a moment. Yes, I think so. I must copy everything else. 2 braces, 2 minus 3 bracket. So now here you can do whatever you want. 4 apples plus 3 apples is 7 apples, minus 2 apples is indeed 5 apples minus 4. Close the bracket, close the braces. Is everyone in agreement? Can everyone follow? Yes? No? Please say something. Is this okay with everyone?
Yes.
Perfect. The next step is, remember there's a product here. We have to distribute negative 3 to these two terms. And this is our step 3. Good. So let's distribute. So I have 2. Braces 2. Now, how come, this is a question, how come that I'm not allowed to add these? I want to add 2 minus 3 or subtract 2 minus 3.
Because you're factoring the 3.
Because 3 is connected by a stronger operation to this side and a weaker operation on this side. That's the reason why we can never, ever, ever perform 2 minus 3. Because 3 is multiplied here. So by the order of operations, we have to multiply first and then subtract. So please distribute negative 3 to these two terms and tell me what to write. Anybody? Negative 3 times 5x, negative 15x. Negative 3 times negative 4, positive 12. Perform the operations inside. No, it's not negative, but it's positive. Negative 3 times negative 4 is positive. Perform the operations inside and present in descending order. Negative 15x plus 14. And this is the final step. I distribute 2, so this is number 4. So if you want here, we have to combine this. So this is number 4, and this is number 5, when I distribute to both terms. So we have negative 30x plus 28, and this is the final simplified form. Can anyone identify the degree? Leading coefficient and leading term. Can anyone identify the degree, the leading term, and the leading coefficient, please?
Degree is 1 leading 30 and then 30x. Negative 30, negative 30x.
Yes, so the leading coefficient is indeed negative 30. The leading term is indeed negative 30x. Very good. Excellent. You just need to understand, it's not a big deal. You just need to understand the terminology and apply it. Any questions? Okay, so let's suppose we have a rectangle. And the rectangle that is given to us, let's say the length is 3x minus 8, and the width is 2x. They're asking us to find the perimeter. And after we find the perimeter, they say, well, W is 2 inches. Find the perimeter when W is 2 inches. Anyone remembers how to calculate the perimeter?
You add the sides together?
Yes. So the formula for the rectangle is 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. Or indeed, you go around and you have width plus length plus width plus length. But this is what it means. Twice the width plus twice the length. Or twice the length plus twice the width is the same thing. So in our situation, the length is 3x minus 8 plus the width is 2x. 2 times 2x. Remember, this is not the distributive law. There is no addition and subtraction here. Don't say, I'm going to distribute 2 to 2 and 2 to x. No, 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 no. This is a distributive law. See the difference? These are multiplied. These are factors. These are terms. Here we use the distributive law. Here we do not. Good. So we have to start with parentheses. So then, what do we get? Let's distribute. So we have, anybody, please?
6x minus 16.
Yes. Plus 2 times x, which is 4x. We combine like terms and always present the final answer in descending order of the powers of the variable. So, what do we get? Anybody, please?
Ten x minus 16.
Very good. Can anyone identify the degree of this polynomial? Yes, degree is 1. Can anyone identify the leading term?
And x.
Excellent. Can anyone identify the leading coefficient that belongs to the leading term, of course? Anybody? The leading coefficient, please.
10.
10. Good. So this completes our 1.4. We're moving on to 1.5. Equations. First question that you will look at when you start working on the problems is this. Is x equals -3 a solution to 6x minus 7 over 5 equals 3? They're not asking us to solve. They're saying, okay, here's an equation. First of all, what is an equation? An equation has a left-hand side, it has a right-hand side, and it has one equal symbol. You cannot connect or simplify to the sides. No, at any point in time, the equations have to have only one left-hand side, only one equal symbol, and only one right-hand side. So here, I was able to write equals and equals and equals and equals and equals and equals, la la la, because this is not an equation. I started with a complicated expression and I brought it down to a very simple one of degree 1 with leading term and leading coefficient. So I can use any number of equal symbols. Not here. I can never, when we get to solve these, we can never write to the sides. We only write one below the other, one below the other, one below the other. Okay, so here we're not asked to solve for now. We're only asked to say, well, is x equals -3 a solution? I don't know. All I have to do is replace x by -3, perform the operations. If I get 3, on this side, if I get 3, the left-hand side equals 3 and the right-hand side equals 3, then I'll go back and say yes. If I do not get 3 as the left-hand side equal the right-hand side, which is 3, then I'll say absolutely not. So let's simplify the left-hand side, and I have to write it like this. 6 quantity -3 minus 7 over 5. So this is not parentheses because we don't have operations in there, but I cannot have the multiplication symbol and the negative symbol crashing. So which operation do we perform first? Anyone, please?
X times -3.
Very good, which is -18 and -7. So the numerator is -25, the denominator is 5. We always take care of the sign first and then divide. 25 divided by 5 is 5. Now, when we replaced x by -3, we got that the left-hand side was -5, but the actual right-hand side is 3. Would you accept x equals -3 as a solution to this equation or not? Yes or no?
No.
No. So I'll go back and say, not a solution. I checked because I got a false statement. What false statement? I got that negative 5 equals 3. Never. This is not true. I got a false statement. False. Because I got a false statement, negative 3 cannot be a solution to the given equation. Okay. Let's build on this on other examples. Let's suppose I'm asked to solve the equation x over 3 equals negative 12. I want to draw your attention to something extremely important. Remember when we talked about some expression, I don't know, 3x squared plus 2x minus 1, and I said, when you look at this, please make sure you see, in your mind's eyes, you see this. Because that's what it means. That's the pattern. 3 times whatever squared plus 2 times whatever minus 1. This is what I want you to see when you look at such an expression. What's my point here? Well, my point here is this. When you see x over 3, I want you to be able to see 1/3 times x. I know we haven't discussed fractions yet. We will soon. But this is extremely important to understand. Okay? So, like here, these are equivalent. Sometimes this is very useful. Here, we don't have to use this concept. But I want you to see it first, as early as possible, so you can get used to it. Okay, in order to solve the equation for x, I realize that there is a division by 3. The operation that reverses this operation is multiplication by 3. So if I multiply the left-hand side by 3, I have to multiply the right-hand side by 3. I can never decide, oh, I'm going to multiply just the left-hand side by 3. No, because you change the problem. If you decide to multiply by 3, you have to multiply both sides by 3. Why would I multiply by 3 and not by 6, or by 10, or by 7? It's because the denominator is 3. In other words, I have a 1/3 to eliminate. To eliminate 1/3, I'll have to multiply both sides by 3. Therefore, the left-hand side, after simplification, because I'm allowed to simplify factors, the left-hand side becomes x. Can anyone give us the right-hand side? The right-hand side is?
Negative 36.
Negative 36. Is this true? I don't need anybody to tell me what to do, or if it is false or true. What do? I just go back and replace x by negative 36. Negative 36. Negative 36 divided by 3 is indeed negative 12. This must be it. There is no discussion that this is the answer. Okay, I want us to work on 2 problems. Let's work on the first. So, negative 7 plus 14 equals 3 minus 6. Oh, plus y. Yeah. Is this an equation? Yes. How do I know? Well, because I see a left-hand side, I see a right-hand side, and I see one equal symbol. This is an equation. Does it have a variable? Yes. The variable is y in this case. So they're really asking us to solve for y. How do I do that? Well, first of all, I have to combine my terms and fully simplify both sides. before I do anything. I won't even look to the right hand side before I simplify the left hand side. Can anyone tell us what we get? Seven, perfect. Now let's simplify the right hand side. In descending order, y, it's like x, the same thing, and 3 minus 6. What do we get?
-3.
Perfect. Both sides are fully simplified. What do I do next? Well, this is my target. I want this to go away. I cannot erase it. I can move it to the other side. What does it mean, move it to the other side? It's negative on this side. When I move it to the other side, it becomes positive. So when we move terms, this is a term. When we move terms from one side to the other, all we need to do is change the sign. So if it's negative on this side, it will become positive on this side, and 7 plus 3 is 10. We don't really say 10 equals y, but we say y equals 10, which is the same thing. Does this work? I have no idea. What if I made an error? I don't know. I don't need anyone to tell me whether it works or not. I'll go back and plug in 10 and see if I get a true statement. Negative 7 plus 14 on the left-hand side is 7. 3 minus 6 is negative 3. Negative 3 plus 10 is indeed 7. I got an identity. Identity. True statement. It's a true statement. Therefore, I have to accept this as the solution of the equation. Any questions? Okay, moving on. Here's another. Negative 7 quantity 7 minus 2b equals 14b plus 5. Negative 7, parentheses 7 minus 2b, close the parenthesis, equals 14b plus 5. So let's work on this problem for a minute.